Hello and welcome to the developer overview. This time we don't have Jason, we have Ryan in the house. For those of you that don't know Ryan, he is our new community manager joining me, helping me out. And what we have for you today are leaks. And this is a new format because we're having a stream or video recorder stream in this case from home in the middle of a reveal campaign. So this is something that we haven't done before. But I hope you guys like it, and we have some cool cards to share with you. We'll remind some keywords, and yeah, I think that's pretty much that. So I think, Ryan, unless you have anything else to say, we should get to the cards themselves.
Yeah, I think we can jump right into it. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's also kudos to you because you've been responsible this time for the whole reveal campaign. So you are preparing all the cards, all the assets, and sending them over to all the content creators. So guys, if you want to see the cards, you can check our social channels, or you can go to playgwent.com, where we have cards updated daily, mostly after 7 p.m. CEST. So that's our Warsaw European Standard Summer, whatever time. So you can check them out there. But without further ado, yes, Ryan.
Quick shout out also to our Discord channel, because I know that Alicia is putting in a lot of work to post the cards quickly, shortly after they have been revealed, so you don't have to wait until 7 p.m. when our website updates, but you can find them on our Discord channel as well.
True that. If you're not part of our Discord, be sure to join. We have our community managers there. We also have a lovely community and all the content creators for Gwent, so be sure to check them out. All right, without further ado, let's move on to the first card, which is Lieutenant von Hurst. Horde 5, at the end of your turn, spawn a Firesworn Zealot in this row. Fee 1, transform a Firesworn Zealot into a Flaming Rose Footman. And for those of you who don't know what is a Flaming Rose Footman, here is a reminder. It's this guy, 3 power, he's doomed, and he has 1 shield on him. Only 1 shield.
I think that's a pretty interesting card because, as we know, Firesworn Zealots have 2 power. So you basically pay 1 fee for the gaining of 1 power and 1 armor. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if they can benefit from the armor as much, but obviously helps against row punishment effects, mm-hmm. like for example a Dragon's Dream. So yeah, I think it's a handy tool. And we shouldn't forget that he also has the Firesworn category, so you might be playing around with that a little bit.
Exactly. I just forgot to mention that we'll be starting off with Syndicate cards, which we have left over, kind of. Then we will have something for Skellige, and then we will move on to other things, which I will not disclose yet because I don't want to spoil everything. So Lieutenant von Hurst is the first card. After him, we have Roderick the Wet. Or the Vet. I always mix those up. And he has Veal. And for those that don't remember or did not see our first initial stream recording with Jason, Veal is a status that prevents units from gaining statuses. So you're covered by a veil and nothing bad can happen to you. Simple
so as you
that.
said, anti-status status.
Anti-status status, exactly. So he has that. He has Zeal, Order, Melee, spawn a Flaming Rose Footman in this row. At the end of your turn, if Order is not used, gain 1 coin. Ryan, what can you tell us more about this card?
I really like this concept, especially for competitive play, because I feel like it creates a mind game between leaving this possible engine on the board. So if you don't use the order, you gain 1 coin every turn. So the opponent wants to shut it down, but you can play around and maybe have multiple engines in your deck. And it's a mind game between which card your opponent has to let go and when you want to use that order. So I think it's pretty cool. Also, the card art, I really hate this person already. I love it.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a nice, charming guy. He's just like, you get away, lady. What do you want? I don't want to talk to you. I'm above you all. Yeah, doesn't seem like a cool dude.
No, he wouldn't survive very long in Game of Thrones, for example.
Oh, totally not. Totally anti-hero for sure. Well, someone has to be the villain. Plus, I'm not a big fan of the Firesworn. I think they're a bit Looney Tune. crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of more Firesworn, we have the Lonely Champion, who is quite interesting, especially his art, but he has immunity, so that goes for him. Deploy, destroy all Firesworn tokens in this row, then boost self by the sum of their power. And for me, this seems like a crazy card. And I love the art, I love the vibe, but Ryan, let's get to the mechanics of this.
Oh yeah. There has a certain praise the sun vibe, definitely.
Oh, totally. Yes.
But the effect is really crazy. I mean, destroy all Firesworn tokens in this row and then boost. This is a really tricky card, and it's also a rare card, so you can have multiple of these in your deck and play around the row limit very effectively. So I think it does play into cards like Igni or Scorch, but this is great because you can really combo with these all of these spawn cards you've got now.
Yeah, and you have a lot of spawn cards, and you have a lot of zealots, and you have the footmen, which we mentioned previously. So yeah, you just drop him on the row and pretty much destroy all the tokens, and you'll just boost himself, which is a lot of power.
Also, more like a monster thing, right? To consume the power of your allies, but this one is really rough. So I think you're right. These are a little bit weird in the head.
Yeah, well, he is the Lonely Champion, so he comes out victorious above everyone else. So he just pretty much goes in, drops, and is like, "Here I am. All of you peasants can go away." I'm the one that rules here, and that's, I think, the last Syndicate card in this case.
Yeah, I think it fleshes out the support for this Firesworn archetype quite nicely, and there might be one or two cards left, but I think we'll see them in the future.
Yeah, I also know that for this reveal campaign, we kind of did something different, like we're going faction by faction, but I saw that some players were noticing the fact that some cards for factions that we kind of covered are missing, and of course we saved the best leaks for last, so we will have those most likely by the end of the whole reveal campaign, so get ready for that. And yeah, of course we want the hype to continue and go forward, so we had to leave them to the very end, so we can all get excited just before the release. All right, so we had the Syndicate cards. Now we'll be moving on to cards that are from Skellige. And the first one is Herkia Drummond, and she has Veil again, so the anti-status status. She has Zeal, Order, Melee, split 3 damage randomly between enemy units on a row. At the end of your turn, if Order is not used, damage a random enemy unit by 1.
I think that's an interesting card as well, especially because she also has the warrior tag. So we saw that Skellige is fleshing out this warrior archetype a bit more, which I really like. And it's another one of these, sort of engine reaction cards where you can choose when to specifically use your order. You can hold on to it for a later round, or use it immediately with the Zeal. So besides the amazing card art, I think this is quite the epic card.
The card art, now that you mention it, I looked at it like super thoroughly right now, and you can see the warships in the background, and she's sounding the horn, so, and you can see the warriors there on one of the sides, like getting ready. It's like, we need to march on, or it's really cool. And like in the first video that we did when I talked with Jason, like you can really feel the Viking like overall feel in this expansion. It's like super fleshed out. So yeah, I hope everyone will enjoy the art because it's really awesome.
Yeah, speaking of, I think the next one is probably one of my favorite Skellige card art. So
actually, just show the Drummond Berserker. At the end of your turn, damage self and a random enemy unit by 1. Berserk 2, transform into a bear abomination. Yeah, this is cool.
This is really cool. I think at least for myself, I get a lot of Lord of the Rings vibes with this one. doesn't matter if it's Boromir taking a lot of arrows or the one Urukai that actually attacks Helm's Deep. But yeah, I mean, the effect's pretty straightforward. It's kind of an engine, I guess. But obviously, the lower you go with your own health, the easier it is for your opponent to destroy the card.
Yeah.
So it might be another combo piece in your deck.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how he's actually still standing, and it's actually interesting because he has one arrow like hitting him in the butt, which is interesting. But yeah, I'm just surprised the guy is still standing, and he looks mad and he looks fine. So I guess yeah, the Skellige people are just tougher than everyone else living on those isles.
Of course.
Yep. So that is all for Skellige. And we actually will move on to monsters, which is something totally new because we haven't had the monster evolving card trailer come out yet. But I think we have a card coming up next, which everybody kind of knows if they played Gwent for some time, and it's actually Eredin Breakglass or Braglass, which has deploy, spawn, frost on an enemy row for 2 turns, dominance, increase damage dealt by frost by 1. And we should actually stop here and talk about frost itself and fog probably too, right?
Yeah, I did have a conversation with the developers, and they explained to me that they swapped something around because obviously frost is very thematic for Eredin, the Wild Hunt in general, and they also rely on the dominance effect, as you can see right here. So to combine these two things, they chose to have the old fog effect of damaging the highest unit on the row, and now frost has this effect. So frost hits the highest now, and fog actually hits the lowest. So I think at the start, it might need some getting used to, but I think people will get the hang of it pretty quickly, and it will be a nice synergistic combo piece for the monster archetype.
Yeah, totally agreed. And I think a lot of players will be happy that some of the previous leader card arts are actually coming back into the game, and they are becoming cards themselves with unique abilities, which is really, really cool. And like you said, this is something that Wild Hunt is known for, so pretty much dealing with frost and using frost to their advantage. And we have another example, which is Red Riders. So this card has choose 1, spawn frost on an enemy row for 4 turns, or spawn frost on both enemy rows for 2 turns. So you get to choose here what you actually want to do.
The Red Riders. So another Wild Hunt card. It's a special, obviously, but it's got the Wild Hunt tag on it, and I like that you can be a bit more specific or reactive with your spawning of frost. You can either decide to hit 1 row if the opponent row stacks or has a lot of numbers on 1 row already, or if you want to spread it out more evenly. So I think this might be a staple if you want to play this frost archetype, whatever it turns out to be. But I already love the card, love the card art as well, and yeah.
Yeah, the Wild Hunt coming in and attacking, I mean, it gives me... pretty much go back to The Witcher 3 with this one. Yeah, it's just amazing. When I first saw the art, I was like, wow. And I love that even though that they are centered around frost, everything around them is burning, so they're destroying everything. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And you actually... Yeah, and...
Oh, go ahead.
Actually, one thing that I really need to get into, like, before... we finish off, because we have one more card, and we actually have a card from my favorite faction, which is Scoia'tael. And it's interesting because if you look at the current reveals, like we started with Nilfgaard, what was after that, if I remember correctly? Syndicate was next, and then we had Skellige, and now we have Monsters, which we just kind of announced, and then we have Northern Realms, and the last one will be of course, my favorite faction, which is Scoia'tael. But we actually have one Scoia'tael card. Thank you, Ryan, for having this one so we can show it on this video. And these are Forest Protectors. So Forest Protector has deploy, and on deploy, play a Bronze Nature from your graveyard. 5 power, 11 provision card, and he looks like a tree ant or something like that. Am I right?
Yeah, he's got the trend category definitely, and also a nice combo card. Obviously depends on the value of your nature cards, your bronze nature cards in your deck, and especially in your graveyard if you play them. But I mean, with 5 power, 11 provision, that's 6 provision basically. You have to attribute to that bronze card, and obviously a lot of tempo playing it in one turn. So excited for Scoia'tael to have even more good gold cards.
Oh yes, me too. I just can't wait to show the evolving card. I won't be spoiling anything, but that one is, I think, one of my favorite arts. Although, while we were actually talking previously, I think all the arts in this expansion are crazy, and every time we have the new cards come out, I'm like, that's my favorite art. No, yeah. Wait, that's my favorite art. And yeah, it kind of keeps on piling up and piling up. All right.
I'm going to be honest. I think tomorrow, the monster reveal, whatever the evolving card will be, I absolutely love it. And I love all 3 stages of the card art. So I'm really excited for everyone to see that one. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what you also told me, like, before we started recording today, that is one of your favorite, or actually is your favorite one from this expansion. So I can actually agree. All right, guys, that was it. Hope you liked the cards that Ryan prepared for you today. Of course, these cards will be available online. And for those that know or don't know yet, you can pre-order the expansion on playgwent.com. You can go to the website and check out everything about it. You can check out all the information about the keywords, about the cards, which we already revealed. And you also have a section where you can see which video will be appearing when it comes to the evolving cards. This is a new type. So if you want to learn about a little bit more about them and what Master Mirror has to do with this whole story, you can check it out all at playgwent.com. Ryan, any closing statements or anything you want to add?
Playgwent.com.
Playgwent.com. Easy as that. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you very, very soon. See ya.
See you.